Jeremy Corbyn, it's going to be a momentous week, whatever happens. Let's cut to the chase. Are you going to table a confidence motion if the Prime Minister loses a meaningful vote on Tuesday night or Wednesday?
I'll have to wait and see. It is a matter of confidence, because if the government can't command a majority of the House, and last week they were found in contempt of the House on a motion there, then in normal political times in British history, that government would then resign and either make way for another government or resign altogether and call a general election.
So, are you making plans to try to form a minority government?
Listen, we are ready to step in and negotiate seriously with the European Union to put up a serious alternative.
So you could maybe get that opportunity to put your version of Brexit to the negotiators. You think you might be able to achieve that without an election?
If that is what is on offer and that becomes a possibility, we would do that.
Is that why I detect in Parliament that, despite different political heritage, you have been speaking some language that the DUP can live with?
Well, they clearly dislike the backstop for very good and very sensible reasons. That, yes, you have an open border between Northern Ireland and the Republic, but in reality, if you then transfer that border to the Irish Sea, you've then created a border and a problem within the UK.
So your
it is a problem.
Your Jeremy Corbyn's version of Brexit can work for the DUP?
Absolutely, it can work for the people of Northern Ireland. And of course the people of the Republic of Ireland as well.
Now, not everybody's particularly happy with that position, with you echoing some of the DUP language. Your sister party in Northern Ireland has suggested that this is not the right approach. Others in Brussels suggest you may have backed the backstop privately when talking to Michel Barnier.
No, I'm not quite sure where they would get that from, because they clearly weren't present when I was talking to Michel Barnier.
So you've always been against this type of...
We've said from the very beginning that there has to be a trade and customs arrangement with Europe that protects all the rights and conditions that I've talked about, but also is a customs union that would enable us to trade with Europe with a say in it and without distinctions between different parts of the UK. And if there is a customs union, then of course the issue of the Irish Sea border doesn't apply.
You don't have any time to renegotiate with the European Union. The clock is ticking. It's the end of March.
Well, listen, if we go into government straight away, we'd start negotiating straight away. If it meant holding things a bit longer to do it, of course. But
so potentially extending Article 50?
The urgency would be to say, look, these are what we want to achieve. These are our objectives. I've made that very clear. Europe is very well aware of that. It's been made clear by me and by my team.
But you can see an argument for extending Article 50?
That's an argument that may come up.
Your good friend, the United Secretary-General, suggested that a second referendum would be a betrayal. Do you agree?
Well, I'm not quite sure in what context he said that. I think people feel that if you simply go to anyone who voted in the referendum and say, sorry, you got it wrong, you've got to take the vote again, that's not reasonable and that's not a sensible way.
We've had a 2-year negotiation.
That's not a sensible...
Do you think the ground has shifted now where you could say they've had a go and it hasn't worked and maybe we need to look again at...
I think it's fair to say it hasn't worked because this government has not succeeded in making it work because of the way they approached the negotiations and the arrangements they brought back, which locks us into, in all possibility, a backstop which we can only leave if the EU allows us to leave.
What is your message? You saw these bags at your conference, love Corbyn, hate Brexit. There's a load of young people in your party, your bulk of your membership, want a second referendum and want the option to remain. Are they wrong?
No, they're not wrong, but the option is there in our motion, but...
With an option to remain?
What I just say to them, the priority is we don't get anywhere until we've defeated this deal that the government has put up.
Clearly, we thought you might be involved in a debate this Sunday, and it hasn't happened. Prime Minister saying you're running away.
What?
That's what she's saying.
Well, listen, she offered a debate. I accepted it 4 minutes after it was offered.
So does this not make the case? You know of Sky's campaign to take the politics out of it, to take the, all the broadcasters' interests out of it and have an independent commission to make this happen as it happens in America?
I think you're right, because there is an issue. Television debates, discussion, social media debates, discussion are actually an intrinsic part of our political life. Absolutely so. And I think in the last general election it was regrettable, more than regrettable, that the Prime Minister refused to take part in any of those discussions and debates. I think they should happen, and the suggestion you've got, which is essentially an independent body saying this is how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, that might work better.